This builds every third party that shows
The church boy,
yes, can be said.
Hello viewers, how you all doing? My name is Ukela Prince and I'm glad to welcome you to Talk Your Own. And in Talk Your Own, like we always say here, we just share our views and we just have good times. And I'm sure that today is one of those days that we'll be having a good time. But today's actually unique because we'll be discussing something that I think is important to every one of us in the society and in the community. So you stay tuned because you are in for a good time, right? Welcome back. I have with me in the studio the delectable.
Whoa. You set the bar high.
Hi.
I'm just Cyndie.
Oh, she said she's just Cyndie. Cyndie, how are you doing?
Good, and you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Nice having you here today.
It's a
oh my
beautiful
goodness.
studio that you have, Prince.
Thank you, thank you. We're just trying our best, right? So tell me, my viewers would love to meet you. Who is this beautiful lady in the studio today? So they will be glad to meet you. So come on, talk to them. Who are you?
I'm Cyndie Cloutier. I was born in Montreal. I'm French, as you can probably hear through my accent.
And she's speaking English, right?
I speak a bit of English, yes. And thank you very much for inviting me to speak about what I do.
It's nice having you, and you are part of a great organization that is into volunteering, and you guys are making impact in the community and beyond. So today we'll be looking at quite some of the things that you guys have been doing, and I think my viewers would love to, hear you and also know why you do most of those things that you do. So let me start by asking, how did the Volunteer Minister Program came about?
It started in 1973. L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of Scientology and the Volunteer Minister Program, he went to New York and he saw a society that was actually really declined from the one he previously was in when he was working there as an author. So he did a social study, and he found out that the common denominator of all the drugs, crime, and situations that were happening were actually deriving from a drop into church's attendance. So people were actually going away from spirituality and getting more into materialism, not spending time with their faith groups and communities, which actually spread more of the decline.
Okay. So in all of this, what was the resources that were developed to help people?
So the resources, that's actually when the Volunteer Minister Program was born. The purpose was to have common people that actually want to help, and it will bring spiritual values to the life of others on a voluntary basis without any discrimination. So he actually put together, the Scientology Handbook, which is a big book that contains 19 topics, which you can find the tools about study, the tools about self-confidence, also assist for illnesses and injuries, how you can help somebody who is having anxiety and depression, so all those things. So that's really how it started.
Okay, you guys you are also into disaster relief.
Yeah.
Not just a volunteer. So how did that come about?
So first of all, as I said, it started with, really that book and bringing spiritual values and helping people, on a voluntary basis. Okay. So you cannot do that if there's a natural disaster. People really need you. So you just need to go there and help. And what was the main catalyst really was at the 9/11, the 11th of September, the big tragedy that happened. So we mobilized over 500 volunteer ministers. A lot were from New York, and a lot just flew from all over the country to go help. And we were, at some point, the only volunteer organization with the Red Cross that was allowed to stay on the sites because we were helping the firefighters who were actually doing their work all day long and, rescuing people. So we were providing them with different means, but what we wanted to do is to find out, we're not just going to go there and, do whatever to try to help. We're going to be there to help organize the scene so it will be more efficient to actually work in that disaster site, and asking the firefighters what they needed and wanted. Because you can bring a lot of resources, but sometimes it's not what they need. So like they even started by asking us to bring them some socks.
So in 9/11,
yeah,
because that was a huge huge thing. So how were you guys able to navigate that? What was the specific things that you guys did in 9/11?
So what we were doing, as I was saying, we just started by giving like the firefighters socks because that's what they wanted. Like they were working like overnight, helping people, and they were overtired. As we saw that they were overtired, we started doing what's called nerve assist.
Nerve assist.
Yeah. So we had like massage tables.
Okay.
And they would come at their break and we'll give them. What we do in a nerve assist, it's we follow all the nerve channels with like our fingers. And there is a specific technique. You do that always 3 times in all directions. You do that the back, you do it also the front, the arms and the legs. So they would be able to relax, remove their aches and pains and go back to work.
So are you a good massager?
No, but I'm a good volunteer minister who can give assist.
Because I wanted to stretch my hand to see if you can make any massage here in studio. Well, she's not. All right, so I got you there, right? Now, how were you guys able to mobilize these volunteers? For 9/11 now, because you mentioned 9/11, I think, and I'm very, very skeptical about that. So I think I am concerned a little bit, and I was trying to, reminisce and go through that scene. That was a painful one, and I think a sad one, and the world was actually shaken by that. Now, so I'm trying to picture you guys, what you guys were doing at that scene, and all that. So what the team, now these volunteers, were they on hand before this incident? If they were, because I'm imagining, you said about how many of them that were sent?
500.
500.
We have a church in New York, so a lot of our people went from there. But also, I was in school when that happened. I was a kid.
So guys, I believe that.
There.
I know.
Yeah. So, but I worked with a guy. His name is Simon, and he was in charge of the volunteer minister at the time, and he personally went there.
Earlier, you told me you were 73. How come you were in school then?
I was in the first interview. They don't know. They don't know I'm 73.
They didn't know. I just told them now. Okay, don't mind. I'm just kidding. Okay, now.
The power of makeup.
She's kidding. So, now these 500 volunteers that came were members of the church. That's what you're saying.
So, okay. I wasn't there and I didn't do the whole recounting of who was there.
Okay.
But volunteer ministers, you don't necessarily just need to be a member of the church to help. Okay. We have people that are from different denominations.
Okay, that was where I was going to actually. I was trying to establish that. How do you recruit volunteer ministers? Do you understand? So tell me about that now.
Well, anybody that wishes to help and that will want to learn about their tools can become a volunteer minister. So they have, first of all, to do the 19 free online courses, so they learn about our tools and they're going to be able to help people with them as well. So that's the prerequisite. Sometimes we will have volunteer ministers that, they are through the courses, they're not necessarily done, and we'll just have them to help. Like they can help to set up events, they can help when we do seminars. There's always something that a person wants to, can help. So basically just that.
Now your help, it's directed to individuals and organizations.
Yeah.
So, how do you determine what a person or an organization needs help with, and what do you provide?
Yeah, well, it really depends. So it will be by conversation, obviously, to find out what is the main issue that they're trying to address and the main difficulties. So that's what we do. And the programs that we have, as I said, those 19 tools, they range from education, tools for the family, to help also marriages, because it's easy to get married, but is it easy to maintain a happy, successful marriage that is lasting? It's another thing. So we do have tools for that.
Tell me about that. I would love to hear about that.
Yes, absolutely. So it's just common sense course that you can do.
Tell me, how did the volunteer ministers mobilize globally to provide support during the pandemic? And what was your contribution locally?
So during the pandemic, what we did is actually our church headquarters in Los Angeles, they printed little booklets that were called How to Keep Yourself and Others Well. So those were providing the guidelines to actually not get ill as much as possible. So like how you wash your hands, all those things. We might think, yeah, they were everywhere anyways, but yeah, there was a lot of confusion on the line because some were saying one thing, others were saying another thing, and it would get confusing and stressful. So this was kind of giving them some hope and some stable information on what they could do in order to not get affected by COVID.
Oh. Okay, we let's go on a little break. We'll be right back, okay? And then we'll continue from where you just stopped. All right, viewers, we'll be right back. Thank you so much. Welcome back. So we were discussing before we went on break, and we were talking about the aspect of what you guys did during COVID, during the pandemic and all that.
Yeah.
So I think there are little facts that you needed to possibly portray on what you did locally. So can you take the stage?
Absolutely. So I personally work with my team of volunteers from across Canada and did different zones where we had churches. Like just in Toronto alone, we distributed 63,000 of those little booklets. They were either given to businesses for their customers or also door to door to individuals.
Oh.
And we also had all the protective gears as we were doing that, including a hazmat suit, mask and gloves, so nobody got infected. During that, it was done totally with protocols.
You enjoy this assignment, right?
To wear a hazmat suit in July, I enjoyed it.
Okay, let me ask you. What gives you the most satisfaction being a volunteer minister?
Well, helping people for sure. Like as I said, I didn't enjoy wearing a hazmat suit in summer, but if I could make people feel safer and really teaching them that I didn't have any illnesses while giving them the booklets, my favorite part of this was the personal interaction. I've talked to some elderlies and individual talk. They were just very happy to have somebody that was actually asking how they were doing and to have that personal connection, and they could tell me their worries, how that affected them. And also some, I was like telling them, it's okay that you stay connected to the news and know what's happening, but also go in your backyard, do some gardening. It's important to keep your attention focused on things that make you happy. If you're just 24/7 looking the TV, it might affect your mental health, So that for me was meaningful, and I was happy to have that personal connection with individuals that were struggling all in different ways, but they were struggling during the pandemic. It was not easy for anybody. So that was my favorite experience, that personal connection. Okay,
so can you tell me about a memorable success that you experienced from helping an individual with the volunteer ministers for life?
Yes. Obviously, I've been doing this for quite a while, so I did have a lot of amazing experiences, but one that always keeps in my memory is that one girl. She was about my age, in her 20s at the time, and she came with a cane, and we had a volunteer minister booth, and we were doing those assists for illnesses and injuries. And so she came in with her little cane, and she told me that she had a car accident and her nerve got damaged and she had trouble, like she didn't feel her feet, so she needed to walk with a cane, but it was better because before that she had a walker. So it was improving, but she was not the same since that accident. So I said, well, I can try to give you a nerve assist and see how it goes, like all the nervous system is all connected and it can potentially help, who knows. So I gave her the assist, and after about 5 minutes, she sat on the table And she started crying. So I was like, oh my God, what I've done? And she said, for the first time in 3 years, I can feel my feet.
Ooh, really?
And she stood up. She had a retractable cane. She like retracted it and like left without her cane. Walking like way better than when she came.
Wow. Now, that was an experience, right?
Yeah, it's an experience that really...
That was an experience, a great experience. Wow. And you can, flash back into it and you just feel, wow. Okay.
Because it was real, and she really, like you could see on her face her own realization, and you're like, wow, this is a powerful tools that did that,
How broad is the Volunteer Ministers program? How broad is it?
So it's all over the world. It's in 196 countries, and we are partnered with over 2,400 organizations.
In your movement all over the world, what are the prominent questions that people ask?
Well, how I can join is one that's very, people want to help, and they want to be part of a group that have practical solutions, and that's what we definitely have. If I do a seminar, it's not just to talk about some positivity. It's to give tools that people, when they go back in their home, their household, they can actually apply those tools, have a better marriage, help their kids better. Do those things. If they have somebody who's sick at home, they can help that person with the assist for illnesses and injuries.
Wow.
So for me, it's like to give those technology. I'm using myself, as a person. I know that work, but I'm not going to keep that just for myself. Okay. So I know that when I do those seminars and I get a person that really gets it and is like, yeah, I'm gonna apply this, then it makes my day.
One of the things you do is that you host seminars in different places and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, so and just in 1 minute, can you say something about the seminars you host and what people should expect from these seminars?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we do seminars on different topics. What they should expect is basically that everybody that will attend will leave with some practical tools and some free materials as well. So we do mental health awareness seminars, and we teach people and the youth what a drug is, really at the base of it, and what it does on the body and on the mind, and how also, if somebody wants to stop taking drugs, what supplements they could actually take to help them, like vitamins, that they
Can you mention some of those?
Yeah, it's all in the booklet, but like calcium, magnesium is one of them that's very central to withdrawal symptoms that can help with relieving a lot of discomfort.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cyndie, it's nice having you in the studio today.
It was amazing.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
All right, I wish you luck in all the endeavors and in what you're doing. And I believe that sometime we will have opportunity to share one or two things again.
Yes, hopefully.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prince.
All right, viewers, that's our show for today. And we took a fresh dimension to it today, and I'm sure that you've had a good time as well. So feel free to throw in your questions if there are things you want to actually ask and you want us you need to get a response to. Let us know. We'll also get them across, and I believe she will send them as well. Thank you for being part of today's event. So that's our show for today. Cheers.
It builds every third party that shows.
The church where you are.
Yes, can be said.